What is good, guys? D Smooth here, back at another video. I'm gonna do a reaction video to Kratos versus Asura. Let's see. Nope. Okay, because I've been wondering for this fight for a long time. Let's see how it goes.
Kratos versus Asura.
The ghost of Sparta versus the wrathful destructor. Cause sometimes you just wanna punch a god in the face. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In the beginning, the Primordials waged war across existence, a series of cosmic clashes that birthed the universe.
Boom! Now that's what I call a big bang!
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus's strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth. Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Starting the whole messy cycle, Uranus was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos, who was overthrown by his Olympian son, Zeus, who battled his own son, Kratos.
As a classic bastard child of Zeus, Kratos was left among Spartan mortals, far exceeding all among him. He became a fierce warrior, winning many a battle, until finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was joined at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain swords and basically a badass whirlwind of flaming steel.
But Ares had a scheme. While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally...
See, here's the thing about, God of War series. The original God of War series is better than the new one. Oh, well, Kratos' character was terrible in the original. It's still a more fun series. And they did a lot of things this character I don't like.
Murdered his own family,
Kratos is strong,
permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He was, forevermore, the ghost of Sparta.
So, he was kinda understandably really pissed off. Time for a new God of War. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new God of War took out his
They should do a remaster of the original God of War series. Like, that would make so much money. Sony is an idiot for not doing that. To be fair, if they did do that, they'd probably just censor a whole bunch of stuff. They'd probably just retcon stuff with censorship nowadays. So
on all of them, and got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's trident and Icarus's wings, Kratos dominated both sea and sky. He also has a tendency to carry powerful severed heads, like Medusa's.
And the claws of Hades could steal souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Neither Perseus or Hercules were a match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he could do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. The guy who overthrew the primordial that punched the universe into existence,
causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light. A frankly incomprehensible feat.
By the way, they did Kratos so bad in his first death battle. When Kratos fought against Spawn, they did Kratos so freaking bad, bro. Kratos was nerfed to oblivion. This is why Death Battle has the bad rep that they do. It took them forever to finally fix this rep. Stop nerfing characters. People don't like it. People don't like it.
Zeus,
who proved a serious challenge, until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon, the Blade of Olympus.
It can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and can pull enough to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Like a badass, he was unstoppable, non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone. What was he to do?
He didn't know. he wandered aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos had a new lease on life, but he could not escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better, so he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook, especially after Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time, and Faye left the tools he'd need to keep the boy safe, including the Leviathan axe.
Far from the whirling rage of the blades of chaos.
Old Kratos is stronger than new Kratos. I don't care what anyone says. Old Kratos had way more weaponry. He displayed way more combat skill. And I know new Kratos has, he's got a few time hacks and stuff. Old Kratos, they would just break through time. Yeah, the young Kratos is what I'm referring to when I say old Kratos, not the modern old Kratos. The young Kratos was way better. I don't care what anybody says.
The Leviathan axe was deliberate.
And he didn't need freaking Atreus to just follow him around all the time. Man, God of War Ragnarok was such a freaking boring game. Even the Let's Play, I tried to watch the Let's Plays. The Let's Plays weren't even interesting, man. Let's Plays weren't even interesting.
And mighty, said to rival Mjolnir itself.
Thor wishes Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a sword of vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new purpose, he stood as a shield against the godly Aesir.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now he knew how to control his anger.
Which is even more important.
Like, he telegraphed that. Boulder telegraphed that so much. He could have easily dodged that.
Important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals himself. That seems like the opposite of what should happen.
Not all anger is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons and relics to channel his rage through.
Like the Dropnir ring, which can summon a...
I already know people are going to say that, Kratos has more hacks and stuff than Usher, because I don't really know much about Usher. I saw some of the playthroughs years ago. I do not remember much about Usher.
Bunch of wind
all I know is
spears.
that he was
They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested with the strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder Thor, who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
Oh, and that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat me, Thor. I know, but he can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the world tree, which is like a literal tree that...
I really want to know what they're going to do with Egypt, because it's already been confirmed the next God of War, they're going to do Egypt. What I want to know what they're going to do with Egypt, because when you look at the Egyptian gods, they're actually not that strong except for the high tiers. The high tiers are up there with the Greeks and stuff, but the mid tier Egyptian gods really aren't that strong.
Connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to free the Norse world, Kratos reclaimed old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the Blade of Olympus once again.
Even better, he actually got to be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos made a lifetime of mistakes, but this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past, not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and
Kratos is way too whiny. Even Jeff Goffrey, the creator of God of War series, said that new Kratos is way too whiny, too emotional. I can understand character development. I understand. There's a difference. I understand that Kratos has to become more of a good guy. You want Kratos to be more of a good guy than an anti-hero. That's fine. There's a difference between being nice and being soft. Kratos was not nice in New God of War. He was soft. There's a big difference between those two. Nice and soft are not the same. They made Kratos soft.
A defender, a god of hope.
This battle is sponsored by Robinhood Gold.
With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
The privileges of the very privileged are no
Skip.
his way. He was the demigod of wrath. After 12,000 years, he's
Robinhood Gold LLC.
Okay. Asura.
Long ago,
No, funny thing, when the Asura game came out, I did not know it was based on an actual mythology. I didn't know anything about this mythology. I didn't know. I thought it was all just original. I thought it was all original.
demigod fell from the heavens, only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free to punch everything dumb enough to get in his way. He was the demigod of wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7 other demigod generals, Asura served as defender of humanity against the impure Goma, dark spirit monsters infesting the world.
And the demigods battled the Goma by wielding a mystic energy formed from human prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
By tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many forms for battle, like the 6-armed Vajra, a state powerful enough to subdue the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
But he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good. At least not yet. Of course, since he's literally powered by wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right? Right?
Funny you should say that.
God damn it.
First off, Asura is not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil, just like Asura himself. He's a warrior, but also a husband with a daughter, Mithra.
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge mantra energy,
Which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously, Asura wasn't gonna go along with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him. What a dick.
But true to his nature, Asura was literally too angry to die.
Too
So long as
angry
a
to
single
die,
part of his
man.
body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka, a sort of limbo underworld between life and death. Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider, he did just that, with an all-new purpose in mind.
Make the gods pay! Oh yeah, they're calling themselves gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really pissed off.
And through his rage, Asura's power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wyzen.
Who could dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger? Look at this!
Asura is so powerful,
That is
his soul
The whole thing with the finger, it's so many memes it's made for that. I saw one meme. Would you rather listen to Taylor Swift music or fight a literal demigod? And this guy chose fight a demigod with the fighting the finger thing playing.
cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his fists to break steel, fire explosive energy blasts.
And headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes. And when he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks without overheating.
Asura's vengeance quest wasn't all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot of that, but he also tried to protect people from the gods, including a girl who...
Asura is what old Kratos should have been. I mean, when I say old, I mean the young Kratos from the old game should have been. Because Asura had more of a good side to him. I know that Kratos, his whole thing, it's like the Moby Dick story. He's so obsessed with vengeance that he loses humanity and stuff. But they should have spent more time focusing on on him losing his humanity. The old God of War basically went down. Oh, revenge, kill, 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 and then he feels like, man, did I revenge a little too hard? Oh well, back to kill, 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 and that was basically the old Kratos. That was old Kratos back in the old games. Yeah, the writing wasn't the best. I still like his character then more than I like his character now.
Who very much reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid. Like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
And then the gods killed that girl too, along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash his berserker aura.
You know how the gods were sacrificing thousands of people to power up? Well, Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years. Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yet even in berserker mode, Asura never lost total control.
Berserker Asura adds even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra, he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high even he couldn't contain it, scorching him into his wrath form.
Even though it hurts Asura while he's in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros again! Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst, then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms! His mantra form! Finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast!
Deus was defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet,
You know,
Asura's
real talk. They're talking about how they're saving Will, fighting the bad guys. The collateral damage that you do, like, hold up.
Blast!
Deus was
Look at that. Everybody's dead. Like, it doesn't matter if they're at the epicenter of the blast. You could be on the other side of the planet. You feel that, you're dead. Asura's supposed to be the hero. He has inadvertently killed everyone. Nobody is surviving that. Cockroaches wouldn't survive that. No, everybody right there is dead. Nobody is surviving, man. Like, I love how, like, Asura's probably going on this journey. Yeah, I just say 12 follow bad guys, goes back over to Earth, realize everybody's dead. Nobody survived. They've been turned to dust. They've been turned to atoms because of this. Nobody's surviving, man.
defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet, Asura's wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop!
It turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
And everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it! That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue threw hands.
Enter the mantra reactor. Capable of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all, his daughter.
A shield larger than a planet, unbound by his past limits.
Quick question for all you God of War and Asura fans: who does the quick time events better, Asura or God of War? Tell me, who does the quick time events better? Random discussion.
Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched through asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times faster than light, and obliterated whole stars.
Chakravartin was understandably impressed and offered Asura a chance to take his place. Asura smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right into Chakra's face, as if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to smack a random thug, a meteor, or Ryu, right in the balls.
It's interesting. Despite the dangers of uncontrolled...
Was there actually a crossover between Asura and Ryu? Because if that's true, then Ryu's scaling just went up. Ryu's scaling just went way up.
Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything, all because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind.
Alright, let's do this.
This battle is sponsored by Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action.
Asura's physical feats outweigh anything that Kratos has done, unless you want to count the Yggdrasil and the whole, fighting Thor, because Thor could punch a giant snake so hard it traveled in time. But I don't think that compares to Asura just punching away the living manifestation of the universe. So
with over 10 million members and billions of...
Come on, Devil Artemis, don't disappoint.
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia. But not for long. You do not want this fight.
Oh man, they didn't say fight on it. I was expecting them to say fight. The title screen pops up. They didn't do it here. Yeah, I would say Kratos is a way more skilled fighter. Because I'm trying to look over the fight. No, because Kratos has better hacks and is a more skilled fighter. The question is, does he have the power to hang with Asura? Because Asura's strength feats, in my opinion, are better.
You let your wrath consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up! Very well.
feel that a lot more.
This is not my end!
Oh, yeah. You know what? I changed my mind, because I'm not changing my mind at the last second, because... Damn it. Yeah, Kratos is down for that.
But you deserve a worthy end!
Kratos can manipulate fate. Kratos is way too many fate. Way too many times. Yeah, you can't measure up to the hacks. He could not measure up to hacks.
I said he was no longer. I never was.
Everybody knew Kratos was gonna win. He's got way too many hacks. I still stand by the fact that Asura was more powerful, like physically stronger. But compared to the crazy hacks like manipulating fate and stuff like that, no. Kratos is bound to win.
Well, I guess Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go? Even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some amazing displays of apocalyptic destruction, but the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoo-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't mean he couldn't. Remember, as usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from gameplay restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios is emphasized to be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify, but that's consistent with the shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster, the primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their speeds are generally even.
But what does speed
Completely disagree, but whatever.
matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience.
Yeah,
Asura lived
Kratos
across
wins.
centuries, obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura easily takes experience. But when
No, because Kratos fought in numerous wars. Kratos was a general. Trained
When it
since
comes to
birth.
versatility, he couldn't match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
A whole lot of punching.
Kratos' weapons, magic, runes, relics, and even his rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing down time, healing injuries, and most importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like mantra.
Yeah, when Asura loses all his mantra energy, that's it for him. So the
Kratos
Draupnir
had
spears and the
literally
Blade of Olympus
everything
gave Kratos
to
exactly
prepare
what he
for this
needed. Versatility, and multiple ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back out of the underworld.
If he could, Asura's resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what he can do! If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a closer examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add in the density of gold, for good measure assuming the form is solid throughout, and its mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and unfathomable. However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a different beast than Kratos, but what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for
Yeah.
a significant time.
So,
You have no proof that he's comparable to Kratos.
Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction. And this isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath too, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asura's the sun rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
The winner is
Great
Kratos.
toast. Are you serious? Okay, who's
But
next?
what if?
Oh, it's next. Alternate endings. He's just gonna come right back. Next time, okay. Spawn wins.
Subscribe and join as a member.
Spawn wins. This Spawn dominates Ghost Rider. This isn't a fight. Spawn wins. Look, I gotta end the video now. It's gone on long enough. Yeah. This isn't a fight. Okay, Spawn wins. Tell me what you guys think below. Tell me about all the questions I had. Spawn wins this.